Well, maybe Tom will give it maybe another minute or so, see if anybody else comes in.
Do you have all of the petitioners on the call?
Everybody's been emailed. I know we have a lot of them on. Yeah, we definitely have most of them on.
Okay.
I will keep my eyes open if anybody else pops in to admit them.
Fair enough.
I will also share my screen with the documents.
That's fine. I have the documents on another screen already, so I'm good as well.
I will also share my screen with the documents.
That's fine. I have the documents on another screen already, so I'm good as well.
I will also share my screen with the documents.
That's fine. I have the documents on another screen already, so I'm good as well.
Okay, Tom, I think we can get going.
All right then. Welcome everyone to the Village of Skokie Appearance Commission for January 12th, 2022. Happy New Year to all. It's kind of new getting back to doing this remotely again. Unfortunately, that'll be the norm for at least this meeting. So the Appearance Commission is tasked with reviewing the appearance of your project. Really don't have anything to do with the zoning or the interior of the project, only in as much as it gives us information as to why certain things exist on the exterior. So unfortunately, samples, the provision of samples is going to be difficult remotely. So we're going to rely on the drawings to give us a sense of what the project looks like. We also take into consideration the comments of the staff in rendering a decision about your project. We will read those into the record at the beginning of each case, and again, take those into consideration in rendering our decisions. In addition, since this is a public meeting, before each case also, I will ask that you be sworn in, and I will take care of that before each meeting, before each case is presented. But before we get started, I'll need one of the commissioners to make a motion regarding the minutes of the meeting of December 8th. Can I get a motion to approve or reject the meetings of December 8th?
I move that the minutes of December 8th be approved.
Does anyone second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No opposed? The minutes of December 8th are approved. So the first case for tonight is case number 2021-089A at 7812 Karloff. The staff comments are: the building exceeds the maximum 26-foot height requirement. The addition must be 4 feet from both side lot lines or variations must be obtained. 2 off-street parking spaces must be added due to the increase in bedrooms. The entire building must be sprinklered. Staff has no objections with the overall design as it is in keeping with the original bungalow design. However, staff recommends that the existing entrance archway detail be retained and the existing eave/top of window detail be retained by lowering the new roof line to just above the tops of the second floor windows, thus removing the gap between the windows and the eaves. A technical item to be addressed includes having the roof plan and elevations correlate. This house has a 90-degree corners where a 45-degree chamfer is shown. Due to the height requirement not being met, staff would prefer the meeting get redesigned and submitted for the February meeting. Be retained by lowering the new roof line to just above the tops of the second floor windows, thus removing the gap between the windows and the eaves. A technical item to be addressed includes having the roof plan and elevations correlate. The house has 90-degree corners where a 45-degree chamfer is shown. Due to the height requirement not being met, staff would prefer the meeting get redesigned and submitted for the February meeting. Brian, are we going to hear that recording of all of the comments like that?
I'm looking, I'm texting, I'm looking at getting it fixed.
Okay. Is the petitioner on the line? Petitioner for Karloff, are they here? No? Recording of. Okay, well, they're not present. I guess we'll see them in February.
Fixed.
Okay. Is the petitioner on the line? Petitioner for Karloff, are they here? No. Okay, well, they're not present. I guess we'll see them.
Hello, Brian?
Yes.
Yes, I am here. The architect and the owner.
For which address?
Karloff, 7812 Karloff.
Okay, did you hear the comments read into the record?
Yes, I heard the comments.
Okay,
I'm not understanding the ones that the chamfer at the sides or the angles, the 45-degree angles.
Yes.
What was the comment on that?
For which address?
I'm going to jump in here. The chamfer actually is probably because your colored elevation,
Yeah.
it's hard to see, but your black and white, the chamfer is obviously evident. So
It's an existing condition.
yeah, it's an existing condition. I think what happened was on your colored elevation, it's hard to see. But on the black and white elevation, it's obviously there, and on your floor plans, it's there. So I would disregard that comment.
Okay. And then
agreed.
the height of the building, it's not from the midpoint of the roof? I mean, I don't have a problem changing the height. I can change that. But I thought that you take the dimension from the midpoint of the roof, not the tip.
Brian, I'm not sure that's accurate, sir.
Okay. And then why do we need to have sprinklers? We're not over 50% more.
I'm going to refer to Brian on that question too.
Okay.
Any comments, Brian?
I don't know. I lost Brian, I guess. I can't hear him anymore.
He's muted. Brian, can you hear us? Apparently not.
Okay, according to the worksheet, you're almost doubling the size of the house.
Almost, yes.
Yeah, that's double. That's almost 100% addition.
I thought it would be, if it's, no, the addition's only 50% more. And I think that the code says if it's over 50%, you have to have sprinklers.
According to the worksheet, it's 1,200 square foot existing, 1,000 square foot addition. That's more than 50% of 1,200. Doubling the size of the house.
Almost, yep.
Yeah, that's double. That's almost 100% addition.
But I believe that the IBC residential code allows for, as long as it's not 100% more.
No, our amendment, we have an amendment. 1,200 square foot existing, 1,000 square foot addition.
I lost you.
We have an amendment to the building code. It's a 50% addition requires sprinklers for the entire building.
Okay. All right. Then are you going to be sending me these corrections to the owner, and then he'll get them to me, or you can email them to me? You have my email.
We'll get to the applicant, who's the applicant's the owner.
I think he keeps cutting himself off. So.
Sir, since you're still on the line, the other comments with regard to the archway, maintaining the existing archway, as well as the at the entrance, as well as the eave, the detail at the art. Let's see, by lowering the new roof line to just above the tops of the second floor windows.
Right. I could do that. That's not a problem. The only thing is the archway is existing, and we haven't touched it. We left it alone. We just.
It doesn't show up on your drawings.
Okay. All right. I'll clarify that.
Yeah, no, the archway is there. The drawing, I agree with Joe. It doesn't show.
Okay, I'll clarify that when the next submittal comes.
Okay, so are you prepared to resubmit and for the February meeting then? Is that acceptable to you?
Yes, I don't think we have a choice right now.
Okay. Well, then we can put off voting on this until changes are made. I would suggest keep in touch with Brian to make sure that your understanding of the code is compliant with Skokie and not just with the International Building Code.
All right, I didn't realize that we had anything that from Skokie on that. I will get a copy of that from Brian somehow.
Okay. That's good. Appreciate your understanding. I will put off calling for a vote on this, and we'll look for your submission for next month then.
That sounds great. Okay.
I do have one additional question
Sure.
that maybe you can resolve for the next submittal.
Okay.
Is if you could just detail or label the new window on the front, if there's a window frame, if it's matching the existing window below. I know it's hard to represent sometimes on drawings, but I think it's important that it at least the frame matches the window below.
Okay. I'll do that. All right. You guys have a good new year, or a happy new year to you guys, and I'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Joe, for that comment too. All right, the next case is case number 2021-091A at 9357 Springfield. staff comments, which is a residential first and second floor addition for Christian Gansari.
Yes.
Staff comments are as follows. No portion of the addition can encroach into the 33-foot vacated Emerson Street. The entire building will need to be sprinklered. Staff has no objections with the overall design. However, it is recommended that a taller garage door be provided and a brick soldier course detail, transom windows, or other detail be added above the garage door. It is recommended that brick be added to the side or rear elevations to achieve the 51% masonry requirement, or a waiver be granted by the Appearance Commission. The technical item to be addressed is to ensure the basement den does not become a bedroom. All right, so yeah, the elevation, I agree with staff's comments. The garage door leaves, the height of the garage door leaves a lot of room between the top of the door. Yeah, that's the right elevation, and the window. So the recommendation there to, add a transom, lighting, or make the door larger, taller, to, soften that space. Is that something that's achievable?
Yes, I think the getting a taller door and doing a nice soldier course on top is definitely within reason without any issues. We'll talk to the owners about putting some type of transom windows or do some brick detail on there. I think that's not going to be a problem, but just have to get that signed off on. But I do understand what you're talking about, the big space between the second floor windows and the garage door. So we can address that without a problem.
Okay. The other comment is another Skokie statute or building regulation regarding the requirement for 51%, at least 51% masonry. And I'm not sure what the calculations are, Brian. I assume that this house does not comply with the addition. Is the south elevation? It looks like, is that brick and siding? The materials aren't named or called out.
Yeah. So on the south elevation, we're intending of doing brick for a portion of it over kind of more of the existing house, and then switching to siding towards the rear. On the west elevation, the front, that's completely brick. And then on the north elevation, 1 second. Then on north elevation, which is the side, we're going to do the brick that's kind of facing the street. And then when the building is stepped back, it's going to go back to siding. Just a quick comment. How do you calculate the 50%? Is it just overall? How does the 51% calculate? I guess is my question. Do you remove the window openings, or do you keep them on the whole facade, or how does that exactly get calculated?
I don't know the answer to that question. Maybe Brian, hopefully, is listening. Joe, any thoughts on that?
The 50% is calculated just the overall elevation. We don't take into consideration windows. So we take the front facade. It's, side to side, top to bottom, side facades, rear facade, but the windows count to what it's next to. The window above in a brick would count as brick. So the whole front facade counts as masonry.
And the north elevation is very visible to the neighbor to the north. And I think it would make sense to have at least some brick, half brick on that side. A lot of the houses in that neighborhood are half and half.
May we, as the neighbors to the north, introduce ourselves, Christian? Would like to know how much of the driveway goes away. We had a very good neighbor the last time. We shoveled on odd days and she shoveled on the even days during winter, but we don't expect that. But would like to know how much driveway is left after you retake the driveway as you move your driveway out to the west facing. Just what are the plans for that part of the yard as you pull back? Because I understand you're also a little bit over what is allowed in terms of getting close to the edge of your lot line.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's just intended to be grass area, more of a yard. than
If I may,
driveway.
if I may interrupt, excuse me, I'm sorry. I forgot one important detail. I didn't swear anyone in, and especially since we have visitors or neighbors. So if anyone who's here regarding this case could raise their hand, right hand, and swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Absolutely.
I do.
Thank you very much. I apologize for that oversight. So is there a neighbor on the call as well?
That is we. We are on the north side, yes.
Okay. So your question was?
How much of the present driveway, which is basically the width of the street that is no longer there, how much of that is going to go away? And what might that look like as we, are you getting there? No?
We were before that in an earlier photo.
Yeah, it's behind the hedge. So,
Yeah, our intention is to have that as a grassy area, more of a side yard. We're not intending on building anything out there.
okay, how much does that go into the existing? It's just asphalt right now, and we both have similar widths of asphalt. It's not quite in alignment with what used to be the street that runs through Emerson. But what we'd like to see is, what we'd like to know, this is not a big intrusion, is just what is it going to be and how much do we give up in terms of the access to our own driveway?
I'll be honest, I don't know the answer of how much you're giving up on your driveway. I haven't measured your side of things, but from the
Well, it's
property
not
line.
ours, it's how much are you taking back? I do pretty tight left turns, I'm okay. We would like to know how much is going to go away so that we can just
Hey, this is,
anticipate what it's gonna be.
This is Lev Cates. I'm the owner. I don't know what standing I have. First, introduce myself. Hello, I'm your neighbor to the south. And I think at the end of the driveway, you can see a marker that they put in when they did the survey. And you can see it would be to that point. It's about, if I recall correctly, it's about 2 feet south of where the driveway was actually redone a little bit, you know, like the seal coat.
Yes, the current owner did not want to redo the surface, you're right.
No, I'm saying it's if you were looking at the driveway, it's about 2 feet further south of where the seal coating was completed, based off of the survey that was done.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
it's okay.
Yeah, they won't be able to remove anything that's on your property,
Yes,
but they will be able to remove what's on their property.
It does not appear that, and I might be reading this wrong. I'm looking at the plat and the site plan, and it appears that it's not being touched, with the possible exception of some landscaping.
Okay, but just, this is all just simple logistics. The owner who was sold did not wish to resurface the top of what is the asphalt on his side, which is leaving some of his side. We'd just like to make sure that things are not a shambles as we're trying to resurface what is now our driveway exclusively.
No, so we're intending on just putting grass over on that side. So once construction starts, it'll be, our yard would be a yard with grass is our intention. And then, you know, we'll figure out a way to, you know, your driveway will still be there.
So you'd do a clean saw cut where the asphalt, I think that's probably the biggest concern is that since you're taking half the driveway out and converting it to landscape, that you guys work together and just make sure that that's a clean edge wherever it is you guys decide.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to walk over. We can meet in person and I can
Yeah,
show you.
yeah, that'd be
And
great.
if we need to move over a foot or two to make that left turn easier, obviously no big deal.
Yeah, the concern
not
is there's
asking
going to
for
be a
that.
lot of construction traffic and you're cutting away some of the driveways. So I understand the concern would be that you're going to leave a raw edge on the driveway. And, if it's undersized, I think you guys can work together, however it is. It seems like everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, just cut it like a sheet of Mama's brownies and it'll look just fine, okay?
Not a problem.
I do have a question for the architect and if that's okay, Chair. To
Go
jump
right
in
ahead,
with
Joe.
questions. I agree with the brick comment, since it does face a wide, what once was a public right of way, the north elevation, if there could be like a water line or something below the windows to add some masonry, just to carry that around the outside. I just want to make sure that you're comfortable with the taking another 9 inches or 8 inches out of the garage or that side elevation to reach the 33 feet. Your garage is already 19 and a half feet. I don't know if you can, if it's possible to take any out, because I like the symmetry of your design. So I just want to make sure that doesn't cause any undue problems. If you do go into it, and I'll defer to Brian, but I think you'd have to get a variance. Because I think you're at 32.3 or something now, and you need to be 33.
No, we're probably closer to like 29 or 30.
Yeah, less than
About
that.
3 feet off
Yeah.
of that line.
Mhm.
That was a question that we had because the street itself is about 33, and I'm assuming when the old owner got part of that vacated street, the asphalt is probably about 16 feet on our side, which we're not, again, we're turning into grass, but is there a way to, like, we can't build 33 from the property line of ours or the old?
Well, it's not
right
our,
of
that's
way?
not appearance,
Kinda-
that's not appearance commission though. That would be a zoning variance,
Mhm.
which is outside of our, it's, however, a 19-foot garage could be an issue. They work, but they're, it
Narrow.
starts to get a little bit tight.
Yep.
There are utilities that run under there, and that's why when they vacated the street, they retained an easement. So the 33 feet is part of your property, increases your buildable buildable area, increases your floor area. But the 33 feet, you cannot have a building in. You could have a driveway in, because if it has to get ripped out to repair something that's underground, that's fine. But the building cannot go into that north 33 feet. There are utilities.
Mhm.
Okay, well, we'll discuss with the client to kind of see what options we have, and maybe Brian will follow up with a call from a zoning perspective here shortly, next few days. Thank you.
It seems like you can make it work. You've got the way your garage is designed, you've got a lot of extra storage and those kind of nooks and crannies. So you could probably get away with it, 19 foot. So you could probably scrunch it a little bit without much. I mean, you're so close that you could probably make it work. It's just that and as I said, you've got enough room along the north or the south side of the garage. As I said, I like the symmetry of your design. The design looks really good. I would recommend, rather than transom windows, which just look a little, in my opinion, my humble opinion, they just look a little kind of forced when you're trying to take up that kind of blank space. I'd prefer you to at least take a look at some type of a trellis or something that like a shade brow or something like that, that might just make that area a little softer than soldier course of brick.
We can share some
Understood.
trumpet vine with you if you wish.
It'll knock the house down eventually.
Have we resolved the masonry though requirement? Or commissioners, are we okay with granting an approval for relief? Any thoughts?
I'd want to see some additional brick on the north side for sure. I don't really think the south side is as, important, but the north side is very visible. It's open.
Petitioner,
I would-
any thoughts?
I would defer to Julie on that.
I like Joe's idea though, of carrying a band across. If you
A
don't.
wainscot almost, like.
Yeah, like a
Not like
water line
under
or
the-
something a little more than a water line, up to the bottom of the windows or something on the,
Mhm.
it is recessed. So, I mean, it's recessed about, I think, at least 10 feet.
about
But
19
I
feet.
did make it a little nicer.
That's fine. I think we can agree on 51% or close to 51%. I'm not sure what that numbers will be exactly, but if we add a band on the north elevation, if that will suffice, I think we're okay with that.
Okay.
Nice design.
Thank you.
Any other comments, commissioners? Joe, you want to make a motion then?
I'll make a motion to approve 2021-091A at 9357 Springfield, meeting the 51% brick requirement by adding bands to the north and south elevations, and to work with the neighbor on making sure the driveway is done properly.
Second,
All in
Oh.
favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed?
talk about the front appearance too.
Yeah, I forgot about the trellis or the above the garage thing,
Larger
but
door, or some kind of apron up there. Mhm.
Do you want to augment your comments, Joe?
yeah, just something to soften the space between the windows and the top of the garage door.
At the owner's discretion?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. Thank you, sir. Good luck. Thank you, neighbors, for joining.
Thank you,
Yeah, trucking
everyone.
on a great
Really
street,
appreciate
don't
it.
want triple fine.
The next.
Not giving me any of that.
The next case is case number 2021-092A at 5319 Crane Street for a residential second floor addition for Jeannie Petrick or CJ and Jill Dugan. Are they present?
Here, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. If the petitioners and the interested parties would raise their hand, their right hand, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. The comments from the staff are, staff has no objections with the overall design. A technical item that may need to be addressed is an adjustment of the roof line design by the new dormer on the side/west elevation to ensure proper drainage. All right, let's take a look.
Mhm. Mm.
Do you want me to chime in?
Sure, jump right in.
Okay. Yeah, I see what their concern is. I think how we can approach it is like a build-up cricket of some sort but I was still assuming that we would have to provide some gutter or at least a downspout and then either like a scupper at that point or a gutter along both sides of the dormer, that secondary dormer.
Dormer on the west side elevation.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty simple fix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just looking at the roof design on whatever page that is.
Yeah, the
it's a little
roof
more
plan. I
clear.
think we could just build it up with an extra cricket because I'm not showing anything there.
Yeah.
But still forcing it
Mhm.
to the west. So that I was assuming there'd be gutters on each side of that new dormer. And then a downspout, I think I showed on the elevation. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't want it there, but I don't know how else to address the water.
Rain chain.
Yeah, staff's just, that was just a concern of staff that we're not overloading that area. So as long as it gets
So that I was
addressed,
assuming there'd be
staff's fine.
gutters.
Any other comments, commissioners?
Very cute.
Yeah, very nice design. I like the bump out that's causing the problems. I appreciate it.
And materials,
We're gonna propose a hardy board for all the new addition, which the whole house is all brick, so I don't think we're gonna have any issues with the
Shouldn't.
percentage, the 50%.
and color selection, is it gonna be white like existing, or you're gonna switch it up?
We didn't talk about it in detail, but I'm assuming what I would recommend is we maintain like the existing dormer, even though you can't see it really, is white, and do the whole thing in white to match the trim.
There it is. Makes sense.
Yeah, I see it. All right, any other comments, commissioners? Julie, you wanna make a motion?
I will.
Thank you.
Okay, I make a motion that a certificate of appropriateness group be granted to case 2021-092A at 5319 Crane Street with a simple modification to address the drainage on the roof and everything else as it's presented.
Anyone second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. Thank you very much. Good luck with your project.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, next project is 2021-093A at 5053 Jerome Street. 505 Jerome Street for Benjamin Boujay. Is that correct? Are they here?
I'm here. I'm the architect.
Okay, thank you. Staff comments. Well, before that, can I swear you in? Can you raise your right hand and do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Staff comments are as follows. Applicant to verify the impermeable surfaces requirement is met. The entire building will need to be sprinklered. Staff has some concerns with the overall design and recommends that the second floor coordinate more with the first floor massing, especially on the front elevation. An extension of brick/stone or the addition of a material/trim banding detail between the top of the masonry, top of existing masonry to the first floor roof eave line is also recommended. Okay.
Yeah, I saw these comments today online, and I sent in a revised design. I'm not sure if you got that. If I could maybe share my screen, I could share that with you.
So Brian, do you know if we have the revised or?
Yeah, here we go. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
You see the difference, right?
Yeah.
With the courses, makes a big difference.
Yes, it really does. That's a huge difference.
Mhm.
The you're taking all of the land and stone off and replacing with brick on the front elevation.
Right, yeah, exactly. And then they intend to paint that white. Yep.
That's a really clean solution, because to match that stone would have been a really difficult proposition.
Agreed.
So,
Yeah.
Looks good.
yeah, that's a really good solution. I appreciate it.
I'm glad you like it.
I was trying to figure out a simple way of doing it, and you figured it out. See, that's why we leave it to the experts.
So let's see, an extension of the brickstone of the addition or the addition of a material trim banding detail top of existing masonry to the first floor is also recommended. I'm not sure I understand that comment.
I guess if you were to compare this to the previous version, it would be quite clear. We raised the level of the brick up to the roof of the new roof in the back. Before it was a couple of feet lower.
Same kind of effect. Yeah, same kind of effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just possibly bringing the brick up a little bit.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
to help with the masonry.
yeah. The owner was trying to save money on the brick, but it became clear it wasn't going to be possible. So he's gonna fill in with new brick and then paint it all white. Because I doubt he's going to be able to match it, and plus the brick doesn't look that good anyway. The current one.
Okay. And the other materials are hardy?
Yeah, hardy board, exactly. Yeah, fiber cement siding, gray and white, I guess.
Okay. Commissioners, any comments?
I like what you've done, as I said before, about the solution about bringing the brick up. I really do like the black windows. Are those black or are they bronze?
Yeah, they're black. They're ebony.
Okay, excellent. Good. I think that it's a nice touch. It's a nice design. I think with the revision you made it makes a huge difference. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Joe. Does anyone like to make a motion?
I'll do it.
Thank you.
Okay, I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case 2021-093A at 5053 Jerome Street, with the revisions that we've seen presented, and the impermeable surface requirement is not something that we deal with. That's subject to the zoning.
Does anyone second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. Good luck. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Good night.
All right, the next case is case number 2021-094A at 7417 Kilbourne, a residential first and second floor addition for Ed Cabral. Is Ed here?
Yes, right here.
Okay. Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, the staff comments are, the zoning information worksheet is incorrect. The basement should not be counted. Covered porch cannot encroach into the required front yard. Applicant will need to submit a plan showing the front setbacks of all homes on the block to verify front setbacks for the block. Staff has no objections with the overall design. It is recommended that a stucco color be used that more closely complements or matches the existing brick color. All right, so the worksheet is incorrect. You understand the comment there?
Can you repeat the comment? I'm the architect that is working on this project, Caleb. Can you repeat the comment about the incorrect basement for the zoning?
Yeah, For if the basement is more below grade than above, it does not count towards floor area. It looks like that basement is more below grade than above grade, so it would not count towards the floor area. It should not be on the worksheet. Only a basement that's more above grade than below grade should be counted.
Okay.
And darn it, if there isn't a big tree over the neighbor's front, the neighbor to the north's front porch. I can't see on Google Earth how much more they project.
The tree on the front.
Because I like the front porch. It's unfortunate that it doesn't meet the zoning requirement, which is, there's nothing we can do about that.
It may meet the zoning requirement. We would need the setbacks of the other buildings. The other option is the columns may be able to come in and the roof overhang into the front yard. But where a covered porch is not permitted into the required front yard, so where the columns come down becomes the front yard. So it is possible that it might be okay depending on the neighbor's setbacks, or it may have to come in a little bit, but the overhang can encroach 3 feet into the front yard. So it depends on the neighbor's setbacks. We would need the setbacks of the other.
I see. Thank you.
Mhm.
So, Brian, we can approve based on the results of the survey of the other properties, or if they elect to move the posts closer to the house, yes?
Correct. There's different options. It could be approved as is if it meets zoning, or approved with moving the columns in a little bit to meet the zoning requirement.
Thank you.
Okay. Architects, you got that?
Yes.
All right. Everything else looks pretty good. Commissioners, any comments?
Yes, as far as the porch goes, you're using a front gable that requires posts that come out, and like you have like a front porch that's got a 42-inch railing around it. It's a little bit forced. So, you know, it is, since you are projecting into the front yard, I think you can probably find a solution based on the existing style, because it has that kind of interesting early 50s horizontal that, you know, that, so there may be a way that you could maybe do a flat or slightly pitched projection over the porch and cantilever it, so you don't have to worry about the posts coming down. It might be a cool look, just something to look at. I think you're probably, if you look at and it's hard to tell on Google Earth, the house to the north has a porch that sticks out a little. It looks like it's a little farther from you, but that's up to you to figure out.
Okay.
That's outside of our purview, but the color, if you can match the color on the back a little better.
Yeah. So the color on the back, I think if you scroll down, I sent in a gray stucco, a lighter gray that Ed would like. They would like their stucco to be, and that'll probably match the color of the brick better.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so petitioner, do you, what do you think about the porch? Do you want to make a suggestion at this point for us to consider approving? Or Brian, are we just willing to, and are we able to just say, provided it's compliant?
I think we're okay with that. There's a couple options they have to be in compliance with the zoning, whether it's as is or to maybe move the columns slightly back. I think there's, and again, it might be okay depending on the neighbor's setbacks, or they might have to do a small adjustment. So I think we can okay it with the condition that they meet the zoning requirement.
Thank you. Okay. Any other comments, commissioners? Okay. Arshana, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to make a motion then?
I'm happy to do it.
Thank you, Julie. Go ahead.
Okay, I'd like to move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case 2021-094A at 7417 Kilbourne Avenue, provided the front porch complies with the zoning, everything else looks good, and the stucco would be a more complementary color.
Anyone second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. The next case is case number 2021-090A at 7040 Laramie for the Fairview South School, first and second floor addition. Looks like they're here. Can you raise your right hand, please? And do you swear or affirm the testimony you give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Staff comments. Staff has no objections with the overall design as it complements details of the existing school. It is recommended that the brick wainscot height of the south elevation be increased to reduce the amount of ephes surface area. Also, consideration to adding an accent color to the beige and brown color palette is encouraged. Additional formal board commission approvals may be necessary. Okay. So architects, I presume, are present?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Did you guys want to say something about your design?
Yeah, thanks. You know, I was, as you mentioned, the south elevation, that is something that we are open to. I know originally when we were starting these additions, our goal was to kind of match the cohesiveness of the design to tie with that 2003 two-story addition all the way that you're highlighting on the right of this elevation. So we wanted to complement that and kind of wrap the east elevation and turn the corner to make sure that the whole building kind of looks like one big uniform building. I do see now, as you're looking at the south elevation that you were just highlighting, that the ephes we did lower along that single story wing. And that is something that we are open to, maybe raising it up to the heads of the windows to match the datum line that we created on the east end, that we can make it look the same. So yeah, we are open to that one. As far as the accent colors, it's interesting because as we've been trying to find a perfect match to the brick blend that's out there now and want to make sure it all kind of aligns. And we are spending more time getting the structural steel to make it look like it all was done all at the same time, that I'm not sure if the accent colors will make it pop or detract, but that is something that we are open to playing with. Yeah.
Commissioners, anything?
It's an amazing match. Looks
Yeah.
good.
I agree with your comment about, I agree with staff's comment about the south elevation, and I like that you're already kind of on it and considering bringing the brick up. Either that or bands at certain places between the windows.
Yeah.
You know, either way, I think anything like that would help it just kind of break up the because it's a long stretch.
You're right, it is.
So, and I think that'll help the color issue as well. I like elementary schools and schools that have just pops of color, but that's just my taste. Because I think this is a nice design. It's a great building. I'm impressed with what our school district is doing. But it's cool to see just some color somewhere. But that's between, in my opinion, that's between the architect and the client.
Joe, do you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve project 2021-090A at 7040 Laramie Avenue with the addition of to breaking up the ephes on the south elevation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very
you.
much. And I believe I have the superintendent and the business manager on too. They'd like to say thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck with
Thank
the
you for your
project.
time this evening.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian, for your help.
Thanks, Brian.
Are we officially adjourned?
Ooh.
I think we're officially adjourned.